Hello. We are in a new episode of my Content Clinic, and today I have a very special guest, which is Agustin Gonzalez Nicolini. I'm going to introduce myself before I forget. I'm Victoria Alcina. I help companies with AI search and AI content systems so that you or your company can be visible on ChatGPT, Perplexity, Google, AI overviews, and everything that makes you relevant. Today we have Agustin Gonzalez, who is one of the engineers I work with, and we're going to be checking his website. And welcome. How are you today?
Fine. Thank you for asking. Very happy and excited to be corrected on my mistakes.
I wouldn't be so excited, but thank you. I will try to live up to the expectation you. So tell us a little bit about yourself, about the website you have built, and what do you want to achieve with it?
So I've been always on and off building this website. It's always been sort of a side project to either learn new technologies, try new things, have a blog out there. And now very, very slowly, I'm also trying to build some consultancy services for C-suites or engineering managers to scale up teams and solve problems in scale up companies.
That's great. So let's take a look at the website, and I'm going to share my screen. So here we have Agustin's website. Probably this hair is when you first moved to Berlin, right?
No, this was actually even more than a few years before. I started having my hair purple, then blue, then lilac. So it's been changing on and off. And now it's at the stage where I'm waiting for it to fully grow out to maybe decide on a new color.
Do you have any colors in mind?
Maybe green, but it might give a lot of super young that I'm not at that age, but I'm undecided.
It's fine. In Berlin, everything is possible. Agustin now lives in Berlin, but he's originally from Argentina, like myself. And we are speaking in English, God knows why. For money mostly. I remember, mostly for money and the algorithm. Now, try to be serious for 3 minutes and let's check your website. This was built in Lovable, Replit,
No.
Cloud Code.
I built it with a combination of starting with Lovable, then exporting part of the code, doing it myself, refactoring myself to learn some TypeScript skills. Then I started with Claude, and now I have a mixture of things depending on what I need to change on the side.
Right. That's good. I said Lovable because this is like the that everyone ever use, and I use Lovable a lot. I mean, any platform works. And the most important thing is to start your own website, right?
Of course.
You can do it in 3 minutes. It's not going to be the best website, but you have it in 3 minutes. So getting out there is more important than anything I can say right now.
I started, like I said, I started this website long ago. So I have used plain HTML, plain CSS. I've used Google as a Go framework at some point. I had it on WordPress. Honestly, Lovable has been an amazing experience to just create some structure and do things that I needed. I'm at the stage where I do very technical on specific things. So I needed to branch out of Lovable. But like you said, the important thing is to have a website and launch it. And this one in particular, I should at some point link the GitHub repo, because everything from the website code to the infrastructure in AWS where it's running, it's all deployed in Terraform and it's publicly available for anyone to reuse it.
Right. So let's see what you got. So we have, let's go to your title and MetaScript ACO extension, which is a free extension. And what I would start with is what you do, right? What you do and then your name, because people generally search for what you do, unless it's friends and family. So the keyword ideally needs to be the closer as the beginning, right? So, but yeah, this is good. So your service is engineering leadership coach. That is what you want to sell yourself at.
Correct. Yes.
Right. Fine. Fantastic. And then here we have the H1. Is it an H1? Yes. Lead an engineering organization that ships, scales, and lasts. Right. I would try to repeat your keyword. Actually, I'm not even sure that is your keyword. Sorry, there is also construction work. Can you hear it on the background? I
barely, just very faintly.
I'm in Barcelona at the moment. The spot where I'm at, there are construction work, which happens every 5 hours, very sporadic. So I don't know when are they gonna finish the balcony. So this is what we're doing. Anyway, let's check if this is your actual keyword. Engineering leadership coach, leadership training consultant, coaches and mentors, engineering mentorship coach. I don't see huge amount of demand for this. Let's go to SEMrush and let's verify. So what I'm trying to see here is if we have demand for what we say that we are doing. This is global, right? Not just in Germany or in a
Yes.
particular place. I have engineering leadership coaching, fine, right? This demand for this. Is this like a new thing?
No, I wouldn't say it's necessarily new.
I see that engineering manager coach has a bit more volume. Is that what you do or not?
Right now, as you said, I'm working as head of infrastructure and security for a cryptocurrency multi-signature wallet. But this is sort of a side thing that I'm trying to start for me.
Some other, I have manager, engineering manager coaching. I have software engineer, career coach, and agile as well. I don't know if you do agile as well.
I can, but it's not my strong suit.
Then we would say that engineering leadership coach, it's the keyword, right?
Yes.
Compared to the others. Fine. This keyword doesn't have a lot of difficulty. So it's a good thing. It means that there's not a lot of competition. So what does it, for example, this page has very low authority. Look, this has very low authority. Almost no backlinks, only 4 backlinks. Or this one as well. Look, 0, 0, 0. And this is first. So this is a really good opportunity for you because I don't know what the other leadership engineering coach are doing, but if this is what you want to do, well, there's a clear opportunity here. So how would we proceed with this? I would insert the keyword in the H1, right? So we said that your keyword is engineering leadership coach. I would try to insert it here, like the coach to lead an engineering team that ships and scale or something on these lines. Leader is here, yeah. And we are missing coach or coaching. Now, some people get upset. Sorry.
Go.
Sometimes people don't want the big title to have the keywords because they want something more aspirational, right? So what you can do is turn it into an H2 or an H3, same styling, and have the H1 here. So you just turn the tagging, just turn the how to say, the tags, yeah. So we go here, you will just expect this is a paragraph, but we could say that this is can I change this is an H1 instead? Yeah, obviously it will change this could be an H2 or an H3. So it's just a very simple change. So you keep the aspirational, emotic brand, marketing message as an H, and you have the keywords as an H1. That's how I would do it.
Nice.
In this case, great. I'm missing a bit of text here. I need generally a homepage. In the homepage, we summarize the whole website, right? The whole website is services, industries, some numbers, some case studies. Now here, I only see if we go back to let's go to your competitors, we're going to see that probably they have text. It's still here. So this person, leaders, fine. Look at all of the text that he has. I'm not saying to write a letter. This is not the homepage. This is a service page, right? But for the homepage of the effective engineer as well, we have a lot of text or more text than you. What I would insert here is the services. If you want to say, I don't know, a brief paragraph of each, I think that would also be useful. A little bit about yourself. So a summary of all of the pages, right? Okay. And a link where you have the summary and the link, The way that I do it is, let's see. So
very nice.
With the platform you hate the most.
No, I don't necessarily hate it. I don't like hosting it, but as a service, it's quite good.
I'm used to every tool is a weapon if you hold it right. That's the only thing I'm going to say. The way I do it, well, I say a lot of things, maybe too many, but I open with the video of my book because I want people to know that I am the best possible person in this industry. What do I do? Right? Each of these goes to a new page. There is a redirect here, which I'm going to solve after we finish recording this. So, but this is real life. This is not Polish YouTube videos, as you can see. It's very humid in Spain. This is how my French looks. This is just real life. People had enough of Polish, or that's what of Polish videos. That's what I tell myself every time I record any of this. So I'd say I used to have a logo bag there, but I was working on the website yesterday and I don't know where it is now. But let's imagine for 1 minute that everything is working. So this is the logo. This is the logo thing that was on my website before yesterday, where I did extensive changes. We're going to imagine that this is just below the header. You see, she worked with all of these. She makes videos. She did the book. These are all of the services. Great. The results. All the strategies work best with. So here we have a lot of text for both Google and LLMs capture what I do, right? I'm not saying it has to be this long. I'm saying that they have now much more information, right?
Something that, for example, I did struggle with, and I'm still in that stage, is the perfect state, right? So when I look at your website, it obviously looks like you've been working on your strategy and your business for a long time. So obviously you have a long-lasting career as an independent specialist, and therefore you have a book published. You have a lot of material to fill this homepage. What would you say it's the thing that I should do where I'm at the stage where I haven't recorded a single video yet? I'm getting used to writing more often through my blog, but then that eventually might result in a book if I have really something to say. It feels like what I have been trying to actively avoid is I will not release anything until everything is in place, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a little bit, it's intimidating to say, okay, now you have to refactor your homepage and add all of this when I feel like I don't have enough.
But you have been working in many companies, which you can put the logos. You work in Walla, which is one of the leading banks of Argentina. You work at the current company. You have things to say. So if I take your LinkedIn right now, I'm sure I'm going to find things to say. You can even tell Lovable or Cloud Code, say, what should I add to my homepage? Here's everything I have done based on my. I think that is important.
Absolutely.
I mean, these are important brands. What you did, key achievements, BPS, engineering, because it's not. Imagine this was a game of charades, right? Where you cannot mention the thing that it is, the actual thing. I don't know if we play that in Argentina. Do we play that? When you have to describe the movie without...
Dígalo con mímica.
Dígalo con mímica, claro. No, but the charades is like dígalo con mímica, but you cannot... You can describe a movie or a character without saying who they are. She's third and she's Albanian, but she lives in London and she's very famous. She had a hit every year. Dua Lipa, in case you want. Did you know who his first one was?
I thought you were going to go again with the Spice Girls theme. Good.
I don't think that there would be a Dua Lipa without the Spice Girls. I'm opening this for comments. If people want to debate, we can. But what I'm saying here, and I took a very long, it wasn't the right example, but now here we are. What I'm trying to say is that if you talk about engineering, what we help polish is your entity. We want Google and LLMs to associate your name with engineering, with software engineering. Putting red text that talks about your experience and what you have done helps to sort of reinforce the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So even if you haven't written a single blog post, probably you have maybe you have GitHub repositories that you can share, that you can explain. Because a GitHub repository can sit on GitHub. I always pronounce it wrongly and I sound like an immigrant. So if you want to teach me how to say it live, I would also take your advice. You say GitHub or GitHub?
There's a huge debate about that. If I remember correctly, Linus Torvalds, which is the original Git developer, he pronounces it Git. So you're actually I think you're technically saying it right. And I work in companies that have employees all over the world. So I always hear
GitHub. Okay, we're gonna stick to GitHub.
in the end,
Yeah.
if I know what you're saying, it's enough.
Anyway, so probably you have repositories on GitHub, right? That is content as well, because you can do blog posts about those repositories in the same way that this video will become a blog post and it will become LinkedIn articles and LinkedIn posts. We can create content from different formats from just in content. So that GitHub rip can be a blog post. If you want to shoot a video about explain it again, video blog post, or if you note, sometimes when we're working on things, we discover something, we realize that there is a particular issue that certain companies do, and we talk on Slack, we copy that from Slack, and you can create a blog post or any kind of content, to be honest. When you detect, it doesn't have to be a book. It can be anything. Never before has been so easy to create content.
Yeah.
From a couple of notes, right?
This is something interesting to me because we've been having these conversations lately in the company, and I've also been thinking about this myself. If you go into the blog section, for example, something that I made it a point to myself to write at the top was that I only write articles when I have something to say, right? But what you're saying, which is also sort of coming from the last video that I watched of you, which is one book, I think 500 posts or something like that. You named it something like that. I was asking myself, okay, we may have in the company a lot of blog posts that are mostly aimed for AIs. What if I create those blog posts, but I never put them here in the blog page? I just create them, create the link. They're available on the internet if you Google them, but they're not linked in my website because they're more for LLMs than for humans. Is that something that you think it's advisable or not?
It's quite important to be mentioned where else, right? What does it mean? When Google and LLMs are assessing reputation is who else talks about you. Reputation is not me saying, I am the best Web3 consultant. That is not reputation. Reputation is if you say that, or if people that know me say that, right? Third-party mentions are very important. And that is the easiest way also to trick LLMs. If I have your name repeated over and over again across the internet, you have more chances of showing up on LLMs, right? However, I think that the main entity, your website should always be the main entity of yourself. If I want to see what you're up to, I think that the best way to find out is if I go to your website.
Yes.
Right?
But
That's why
I think my question was, let's say I can write an article based on a GitHub repo that I published. I published a new Terraform provider because I was bored and I did something. Writing an article about it doesn't seem like I have something to say. It's just I'm writing this so I create content for LLMs to find me. And I can still have augustinic.com/blog/provide, right? So the article exists, but I don't necessarily have to put it in this list of articles that you will see on my page.
And why wouldn't you want this to see it on your page? What would be
my logic is that the articles that I'm putting here are for people to go and read them, for humans to go and read them. And if I pollute this with a lot of content that is mostly aimed for LLMs to index, it feels like noise.
But probably some humans who have worked with that platform, Terra, might find it interesting. You don't know that yet. So if you, what we want is content that makes you look reliable and the best option in a particular niche, right? Because you want people to either hire you as a employee, as a leadership head of engineering, or with your new venture to hire your services as a company, right? So how are you going to convince me? Let's say that, imagine that we were doing the same thing, right? Imagine that we are both doing leadership coaching or Web3 SEO. If I go to your website and I see this blog, I will have less information than if I go to my website and I see, okay, I won an award, I wrote a book, there are reviews, every single thing, every single element of the process, there's a blog post for it. There are videos. which one do you think that makes you more hireable?
Absolutely understand your point. Yeah.
But you never know what happens with content. And that's why I said in the that you saw, which by the way, I'm gonna try to do those special effects when I
Click here.
upload. I'm gonna say click here and it might show up. He's talking about the last webinar I did, which was how I repurposed my book into 500 pieces of content, which is available here. Now, you don't know what happens with content. Bad content is better than no content. And I'm going to tell you something. I created, 3 years ago, I was using a platform that is, I'm not going to mention because I think it's really bad, but it creates all of these automatic blog posts. That automatic blog post, I did 5 or 10, and then the quality was embarrassing. So I stopped. And one of those is ranking for content structure on its own. So on page 9 or 8 of Google. So, and you would say that has no chances of ranking. You never know that. Now, I can take that article and say, okay, we wrote this 3 years ago. The quality is really bad. Let's make it better. I know I can focus my effort on bettering, on improving something that is already ranking. And in this case, I have this philosophy of rank first, optimize second.
Cool.
So that is bringing links. That article is being mentioned by LLMs. Actually, I think I have it. If I go to SEMrush, a couple of those are just really bad. And then I say, okay, why didn't I publish all of the others? Because I had like 20 to publish. And I was like, no, I'm not going. The quality is really bad. So if we go to root domain.
By the way, SEMrush it's fully paid. There's no free layer to see something myself, right?
Do you still have your Lovable subscription?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, because Lovable has a direct integration where you don't need a Lovable account, SEMrush account. So you could use that, and it's pretty good. So, and Lovable is just $20 instead of SEMrush, which is much more expensive.
Yeah.
Now, these kind of curves, right? When do we see the biggest increase? When I started publishing the content from my book, right? So if we don't publish the content of the book or any content, we remain here. And that is not, for me at least, is not useful. So if I go to top pages, let's see, we're going to find that article. SEO, this one also totally, let's see a couple that have traffic. Again, look, my top page is a service page, which is good. Then there is a case study, which is also good. Then there is a blog post entirely written by AI. Best types of crypto content for your audience. This is a new blog post from the book. SEO awards and application. This is entirely written by AI. The same as website migration. The same as content, branded versus unbranded traffic. I cannot find content structure right now, but that is the example I remember. So if I don't launch the best content types for your crypto audience, I will never know. Obviously, with SEMrush, we can do this kind of analysis and say, okay, this one is easier than the other one, target these keywords, target these other keywords, right? But in very niche industries, or very niche, like SEO for Web3, SEMrush doesn't show you a lot of volume because there's not a lot of people searching for it. So this content, best content types for crypto audience, I had no way of knowing if it was going to pick up or not. So now we know that this new page is doing something. So I would say I would publish everything.
Yeah.
If you ask me, I'm a content maximalist. Everything that you already have. So you are like a click away from doing this. This GitHub established. If you put it into Claude and tell it, write an article about this.
Yeah, probably come out.
Something's going to come out. Well, then we improve it, you make some changes, but I would use everything that you have done.
Good.
Now, in terms of services, what I would do is also to have here you have different plans, right? I would have one service page per offering because some people might look for career transitioning coaching, right? So head of engineering, if that is something that you want to add as ways of working, or is this something you want to promote, I would also add it. Like everything that you do or you want to do, I would add to services and separate it into a page. Every single keyword needs a page. That impact, okay, experience timeline, present, case studies, numbers. It's good. This, I will definitely put it on the home, the impact. Because I mean, in the homepage, I want to figure out if I want to continue reading, if I want to know more about you. So numbers, that's fantastic. You can back up your claims with numbers. I would also add FAQs to your homepage and to most pages, because FAQs is one of the formats that are most extractable. It's a very extractable format for LLM. So I would be adding to most pages. I added to all pages.
Not a dedicated FAQ page, but it's FAQ section in every page.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
I was actually working on that today. So if you see here at the bottom, every single page has why you should hire me, how long does it take to see a result, how do you measure result, how do we get started. I think that's why you should hire me instead of others. Is a really important question for LLMs, because people at the decision stage is like, okay, you got my attention, but how are you different from others? Right? And in this case, you can use the proof that you already have here. Let's say 20 years of experience, 15 years of experience, and I have done a 40% cloud cost reduction. Right? Proof, like proof. And all of these, again, I'm interested in knowing, how did you achieve this? Probably this is a case study. Each of these probably is a case study. So I see more of your thinking, more of the things you have done. And ultimately, people hire you if they like you, right? More than anything that you have done, people hire you if they like you. So if this website can make a match or can portray you as a reliable, likable person for the people hiring, it's better. And again, it has never been easier or faster to do. I think that's the main thing I want to say. Do you have any other questions?
I was worried at the beginning, sort of when you invited me to a clinic, because all of these sections that are now in the website, they were all this huge blanket, unique page, right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought, okay, this might be better to break up. So in a way, I guess my most synthesized way of this clinic today is that every part of the website has to have its own subpage and has to expand or zoom in. Yeah, details. I think you just put it very well on when you say case studies, right? In this case, for me, there's a lot that I also have to sharpen and think in more detail. So I have a very clear idea of how I conduct engineering manager or C-level coaching, how I conduct team leadership coaching, how I conduct like coaching related to operational challenges in scale-ups or teams that are scaling up. But this does invite me to typify that, which I haven't done yet, right?
Yeah. So I want to know if I am your ICP, if I'm your potential client, I want to know everything. So one of the pages in my website that work the best are case studies. It's like, I'm telling you all of these things that I did, and here's the case studies. Mm-hmm. Because ultimately, when Google or LLMs say, okay, these are the best options, you go, particularly LLMs, okay, these are the 2 or 3 best options. You're going to go into the website knowing that, and what is going to decide if you book a call or not is proof.
Right.
All of the things that we have talked about today is proof, because all of these things that you know very, very well are not reflected on the website. So I want you to have like the best representation. The website should be the best representation of your services and who you are as a company or as a person. So right now, I don't have that. I know a bit of you, and you have a structure that is better than before, but I need a bit more depth in content, and that you pick yourself a bit more and tell me the things that I don't know that you know that makes it the best option.
This, to me, it's also related to this preparedness freeze, right? Or this, where should I begin producing pages and zooming in? Which one of these sections would you think it's the most simple to start working on?
I would start with the
all right,
because the homepage is targeting your core keyword. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the homepage is always going to be probably the page that has the most power, because generally links come to the homepage. So this is the page that has the most power. I want to throw everything at it. So let's see when we say how much power, if this page has any power. Let's do worldwide, and let's say how many domains. It's very likely that most domains are not rubbish, are pointing to your homepage, right? Let's see. This is going to these are you're taking from Medium to your website. I don't see any legitimates here. Most of them are rubbish. You can see from the domain, right? Dr.
Mhm.
Jad World.
I don't
Okay.
think I understand what those mean. What are those domains that I don't recognize?
So all of these domains is people in the internet that are linking to you. This looks mostly like spam.
Oh,
Here you have your previous level site probably.
yeah.
Maybe not the most clear example things, but if I go to mine, I can show you how more of a legitimate profile looks like. So if I go to yes, which is authority score, we can see that, for example, SEMrush is linking to me. And that is quite important. This is just my user profile, but let's see HubSpot. Actually, I got this one the other day. HubSpot is linking to me from their blog, recommended me for SEO services, right? This is pretty good. La Voz, which is a newspaper in Córdoba. Once I did an article with them. What we want is them to link to your website because you are talking about things that are relevant, right? For example, this is a digital marketing agency and they are they are linking to my blog about crypto case studies, right? Consensus, which I worked for in the past, are also linking to my home. The page that the most popular page tends always to be the homepage, right? That's where they would generally link. In my homepage, I have my core keyword, which is crypto marketing. I lost the ability to speak. It's so hot here. Web3 SEO agency, right? That's what I would do. That would be the first page I would focus on. I would mention the services. I would mention the proof. I would add FAQs and all of them go to a new link, right?
Nice.
They link to every single page. Now we
And I
have
guess-
like a small ecosystem.
And I guess the last thing that I'm curious about is that one of the things that I worked on is automating the website translations to also sound natural, right? So the website, it's fully controlled end to end by Storyblock as a CMS. But every time I release or make a change, the website goes through a bunch of GitHub actions, among them using people's free API and my own AI subscription to like translate and review the translations. So I'm curious to know if having multiple languages on the website also helps or not.
Well, it will make you eligible in other languages, right? So here in the US, we're checking your website. We can see, sorry, this is mine. Why are we, so if I go to the main overview, I can see how you rank in different countries, right?
That is
That is in the language. That is
per
in
language.
per language.
All
Now, it's much easier to rank in languages that are not English. English is the most competitive language. So if you are based in Berlin and you translate this website, it's going to be easier to rank for those keywords in German.
Okay.
Because if this keyword is not competitive at all in English, in German it will be 0. In Spanish it will be 0. The Google algorithm they spend most of the time in English. So you can rank, I'm not going to say anything, but the things that it allows in other languages is also a trick to, once you fix the home, it should be very easy to rank for in the other languages, 100%.
And with changes like this, let's, as an example, just like the H1 change that you're recommending, how long does it take to see an impact?
In SEO, we always said it depends. Now, it depends where this is indexed. I would submit, once you work on I would submit all changes at the same time. I would do the H1, H2, fill this page with more in-depth content, and then I would submit it through Google Search Console to request a reindexing. I don't know if you have a Google Search Console here or not.
I do.
Doing changes, keeping things refreshed helps to move the needle. But this page, I think that if you were to have a properly optimized and structured page, that would mean a lot considering how poor the competition is.
Okay, that's very motivational.
It is. Well, you're in a niche that is, I didn't know it was so easy. I might do a lead gen and sell it back to you. I mean, SEO people, do affiliate and lead gen a lot because sometimes when you discover a niche, you can make money out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You sell the leads to someone else, you sell the calls to someone else. And that's why there's so many SEO people with pest control websites in the US and things like that, which I cannot confirm or deny that I might own pest control, plumbing, credit repair, different niches. Because if I see the opportunity, it's like, okay, is there an affiliate? Can I monetize this? Boom.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
So I'm going to let you leave if you improve the homepage.
I shall. Not right now. Do you want me to do it
Not right now.
I
No,
can,
not
I
right
can
now.
do it right now.
No, not right now. But you can, I mean, whenever you want, this is for your own business. Yeah, go for it. And you already have the base. So it's just about making some small tweaks, improving the content, and getting some leads.
Mm-hmm. This was super, super useful. Thank you, Victoria.
Thank you for taking part of this. I'm going to send you all of the notes and the transcripts so you have everything that you need to do to make this new venture a total success.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody, for watching, and I'll see you soon.